Some Lexington businesses are trying to recover this week after last week's storm caused a drop in sales.
The winter storm is taking a toll on rescue crews in Madison County. How they spent the week helping people dealing with the brutal weather.
Got a lot of ice on them yet. The side roads have. We've plowed them several times to try to catch when the sun's out, where it'll break up a little bit.
And the snow may have stopped falling in Lexington, but people in southeastern Kentucky just can't seem to catch a break from all the snow. Hear from road crews who are working around the clock to keep roads clear.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 5:30.
Good evening to you. The snow has settled for now, but people across the Commonwealth are still cleaning up after last week's winter storm.
Many communities are getting back to normal, but as WKYT meteorologist Jim Caldwell shows us, the snow that hit southeastern Kentucky this morning is causing frustration for some folks in Magoffin County. That's our top story at 5:30.
You go to any town in central, southern, or eastern Kentucky, you're going to find mounds of snow that look a lot like this. Some probably even higher, as road crews have been battling the snow since last week and even had another shot of it out there early this morning. Some roads still look pretty rough.
You see what you're up against now?
In a county with just one road grader and more than 100 roads that need it, clearing some side roads has been a challenge in Magoffin County.
Yes, the ice has done more problem than anything. Once the snow started melting, it went to the bottom and then it froze back. And the only thing we could do was take it down to the ice.
Since last week's 14 inches of snow, dozens of families have been stuck at home.
Kids or families, they couldn't get out and they've been housed up for days. And still a lot of them are housed up.
While warmer temperatures have been present recently, it's all about the sunshine when battling the snow and ice-covered gravel roads. But even when the sun is out,
we still get calls. A lot of them says they still can't get out. And, you know, we go right back over the same roads and try to get them as good as we can.
And there are still roughly 100 roads that they can't use salt on. They can only be graded. So that makes the challenge even more difficult. In Magoffin County, I'm WKYT meteorologist Jim Caldwell.
Road crews say they look forward to rain and milder temperatures to help melt that snow.
Well, that overnight snow in parts of southeastern Kentucky made the morning commute a messy one. Road crews in Letcher County were busy trying to clear the streets and roads. So far this year, crews say they have used about 15 tons of salt. But with last week's massive storm, they say sometimes it can be tough to keep up.
Every day we get it cleaned off, we're right back at it again in a few days. Sometimes it's a little hard to catch up, but we're about on top of it now.
Letcher County saw about 3 inches of snow this morning.
Some good news for people living in Clay County. City leaders say Manchester customers should have their water restored sometime tonight. Clay County is just one of several counties dealing with no water this week. Thousands of people across Kentucky lost water after last week's storm. Crews ask people who do get their water back to check their meters to make sure there are no leaks. They also ask people to conserve water until it is fully restored. We're not seeing any snow in Lexington, but some parts of the state just can't seem to shake off this wintry weather.
Yeah, some areas even saw up to 5 inches, and we're tracking another drop in temperatures overnight. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey has a look at what we can expect.
Yeah, you know, a little snow getting ready to blow into the Lexington metro over the next couple of hours. Light snow and flurries, not a huge deal considering how much snow we've had over the past couple of weeks. Live First Alert Defender, this is on the leading edge, by the way, of the really cold air that continues to work its way on into the area. Defender is picking up on the snows in the northern parts of Kentucky, where you see some of the brighter whites, light snow and flurries now. Northern parts of Scott County into Harrison County, and then back to the west into parts of Lawrenceburg, Frankfort, and Versailles. Midway, likely seeing at least a couple of flakes that are flying by. This is what blows into downtown Lexington coming up over the next half hour or so. That light snow band, by the way, extends farther to the southwest toward E-Town and Louisville along the I-65 corridor. Put everything in motion, throw the clouds in there. Notice how the band actually increases just a little bit. Then look behind that. Snow showers are picking up up from almost north to south. That's the Arctic air that is rolling quickly into the area, down to 19 degrees already in Covington, yet it is 30 into Frankfort and Lexington. That cold air is going to continue to settle its way on into the region over the next few hours. Focus at the forecast, though, outside of the snowy conditions for some this evening. We'll watch a wild weather pattern to start the month of March. That's coming up in a little over 10 minutes.
Volunteers with the Madison County Rescue Squad worked around the clock last week to help deal with all the snow, and they say it's taking a toll. Volunteers say they logged more than 200 calls and worked 18-hour days. They helped escort people to work, transport patients to the hospital. Some even put more than 200 miles on their personal cars. Crews say the city was thankful for all the extra help.
Overall, generally positive. They were glad to have the extra vehicles on the road and the extra eyes on the road. We ran across several incidents that they weren't originally aware of, and we were able to coordinate through 911.
The rescue squad assisted with about 150 rescues.
Slowly but surely, the snow is melting away, but last week's storm caused some problems for small businesses here in Lexington. Now store owners have their hands full trying to recover from the loss of business over the last couple of weeks.
It seems like our snow problem is coming to an end. But before we can truly thaw out, last week's revenue from local businesses has already melted.
Hello, how are you today?
Carissa Arnold is the general manager here at Alfalfa Restaurant. She says last week's storm shut her place down for 3 days.
You don't have the 3-bean Italian soup?
No, not today. We still have the black bean plantain. Yeah, closing for any amount of time for a restaurant is really difficult. You know, it impacts sales, it impacts, you know, the flow of business.
Arnold says normally about 25 tables during lunch are taken, but during the week of the storm, it was about 5 or 6.
Yeah, we were down about 60%, I would say. It was really tough.
Now this downtown lunch spot is on the rebound, but they know for a small business it's very difficult to recover a day's earnings when you're shut down.
You know, we won't see that back.
We were totally closed Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
This sign says it all. Stuart Hurt is the owner here. He says last week,
I think we had 6 customers, which, you know, that's itty bitty teeny.
in a week he could get about 100 shoppers.
We made little to no money that week because basically the money that was brought in had to pay our overhead to keep going.
There is a light at the end of the tunnel and shoppers are back, and all the owners can do now is...
But really with something like that, you just kind of got to go forward.
And they are. The usual customers are back, and so is that lovely sound. In Lexington, Miranda Combs, WKYT.
Well, those businesses that we talked with say they are using social media to get some of those customers back.
A southern Kentucky community is paying tribute to a family shot to death last week. Our county by county coverage begins in Knox County. The owner of Wrigley's restaurant in Whitley County is hosting a gathering for the Hendricks family tonight. Police say 16-year-old Jason Hendricks shot and killed his mother, father, and sister in Corbin. He later died in a shootout with police in Baltimore, Maryland. The owner of Wrigley's says it's a way for people in the community to share memories and mourn the loss of their friends. In Boyle County, a routine traffic stop led deputies to a drug bust. Deputies say they pulled over 40-year-old Jeremiah Johnson yesterday in Danville. During an investigation, they say they found about 18 grams of crystal meth and $2,500 cash inside the car. After arresting the 4 people in the car, they say they found heroin on one of the suspects. All the suspects are in the Boyle County Detention Center facing drug-related charges.
We know that most of you out there are over this winter. It just never seems to end. This guy hasn't had a break, it seems, in a really long time. Chris, a lot of us are thinking about spring, but with another night of frigid temperatures on the way, our good question has us now looking ahead to see if in March, if these temperatures are going to stick around. So today's good question, what's the latest in the year we have seen below 0 temperatures? And go, mister.
You know what? We're still not technically out of the woods if you just look back through history, but the deeper you get into February and March, it becomes a lot harder to do. Take a look at the graphic. Coldest temperatures by the month, and we're showing you the first time that we had below 0 temperatures in Lexington, November 25th. of 1950, and that's the earliest we've ever had it. The latest for March, which is what we're talking about here, Amber, 2 below zero on March 5th and 6th. We did it on back-to-back days from 1960, so it has been a long time. So March 6th, technically, the latest in Lexington we have ever been below zero. Do I think we will get there? Probably not. Can we squeeze out a few more single digits? Yeah, absolutely, over the next couple of mornings.
This is a question I wanted to ask, but yet I did not want to ask because I didn't really want to know the answer.
By the way, if you're wondering, the latest it has ever snowed in here, it snowed in May before.
I know.
Yeah.
Chris, thank you so much. And to send in a good question, all you have to do is go to WKYT.com.
I'm Bill Bryant. Governor Steve Beshear presses the legislature to agree on a bill to deal with the state's deadly heroin epidemic. And Republican Matt Bevin says he would refuse a pension if he's elected governor. The bottom line is ahead.
It's a problem many Kentucky school districts are facing. How are they going to make up all those snow days? Coming up at 6, how some school leaders plan to take away vacation days to make up for the lost time.